Happy New Year, and welcome to another episode of Anime Splash. I'm Neal Trotter,
I'm Ricky Morris.
and in Anime Splash what we do is we watch the first 3 episodes of anime, and then after that we decide whether or not we want to continue watching the entire show, just based off of those first 3 episodes. This time we've watched this anime. It's called Code Breaker. And we're going to start it off with a plot synopsis by Ricky.
Alright, so the anime starts off with this girl named Sakura who's, witnesses this guy that's burning some people alive, and, she panics and, tries to go back there and see what was going on. And, she can't find any evidence of anyone burning those scorch marks or anything. So, the next day, she, she goes to school and everything, and there's this new transfer student, and this transfer student just happens to be the guy she saw burning the other people. She confronts him and asks him, did you really do all that? And, he sort of just shrugs her off and everything. But later on, she goes back to the park to investigate some more, and she runs into some gang members that are about, and they attack her and tie her up and everything. And then the dude shows up, and his name is Onagami, and he, has this power where he, can make one of his hands burn with blue fire, and he just, burns all the guys and everything. And she's witnessing that she's seeing all this, and he tries to burn her, but for some reason he can't. So she's like horrified that this guy is going around killing people and stuff, and trying to confront him about it, trying to talk him out of killing people, and he should just turn himself into the police and everything. And, she just sort of starts following him around, as Origami goes on these missions, because he's a code breaker, and there are these people that work for the government that go around killing criminals and stuff. And that's pretty much the entire premise of the anime.
There it is. This is interesting. Now, most of the time in Anime Splash, we pretty much agree. And then there's sometimes, when Ricky will like anime and I don't. That happens from time to time. I think this is the first time where I like this anime and Ricky does not. and so it's going to be interesting. Let's talk about it. First, I want to say that I was actually shocked when I saw it and actually liked it. I think what turned me off was the title, Code Breaker. It sounds like a show about hackers or some sort of computer type of deal. Maybe they're like trying to hack into some mainframe or something. But it kind of makes sense, the title, but it just didn't match up. So I was like, okay, the synopsis doesn't make sense with the title. It already sounds kind of stupid. Here we go. But I was surprised. But there are some really good parts I liked, and there are some bad parts. But I agree with Ricky. Oh, another thing I want to say is that I was actually watching it with my brother. This is like one of the reasons why I think the show is kind of flawed a little bit. And he was watching. We were watching the first few minutes of the show, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes in, and he was like, "Yeah, this show's kind of boring," and then he left. And that's kind of the problem with this show. It's not that it's slow or anything. It's just that it has it's got schizophrenia kind of like. There's 2 sides to the show. It's got like a really comic relief part, and then it's got super serious, extremely violent part to it. And when they switch, it kind of feels out of place. And that's one of the things that Ricky did not like about it. So here's the thing. They're high school students, and it usually happens maybe like in the middle or the first part of the show. They'll have this real comic relief section where people are acting kind of slow, and there's a lot of anime related comedy in there, and I didn't like that part. Ricky didn't like that part, and it just seems out of place, because then after that it'll get really, not only will it get serious, it'll get deep, it'll get the plot will like really thicken. They'll start throwing these really intense concepts at you.
Yeah, there's a little bit of gore in there.
Yeah.
Just
blood.
Yeah, just
intensity.
And then it gets pretty dark too.
Yeah, it gets dark where they're doing things that shouldn't be happening. You're like, so now there was a part where there's like
it just pulls a complete 180.
Yeah, I mean drug use, all types of like deep stuff. Yakuza, gang bagging, all types of
implied
murder. Just all types of stuff, and then it does a 180 on you, and then they're in school and they're talking about how I want to go out and date this person, and the guys are jealous of the girls, and all this stuff. It's like, what happened? Now, he didn't like that at all. I didn't like that either. I think that if they didn't have that part of the show, it would be a much better show. However, if it didn't have that part, it would be actually a very hard show to watch because it's so serious and deep, and because they're dealing with this theme of vigilantism, which is a tired and true theme, where the bad guy's killing, the anti-hero is killing evil people, and is this right? Is this a good thing? And they really get deep into it, and it's a lot of violence and action, and it kind of gets super serious. And if that was just happening all the time, I could see some people getting turned off by it because it's just kind of too much. I would love it. I think that would be great. I would be like, well, this is the show to watch. But I think that they probably would lose a lot of viewers, like especially a lot of like those hardcore otakus who kind of like rely on that stuff to get entertained. They probably lose all of them. So I think I can see where they're trying to put that in, but it does suffer because it has those comic relief sessions. Now, another thing that was interesting was the main characters. Mostly Ricky, or just the characters in general, mostly Ricky didn't like them, which I actually didn't even consider that. I just like the theme. The theme was so good.
I don't know. I like Onigami, just like you were talking about the vigilantism. Like if you compare him to Light from Death Note, like Light saw himself as a savior, but Onigami is like he recognized what he was doing wasn't necessarily right, but he like his entire deal was, what I'm doing is evil and probably wrong, but someone has to do it, and and that person's me, and he's not like remorseful about it either. He's just like he doesn't pretend to be like that he's a good guy or a savior or something like that. That's what I like about him, but like the rest of the characters just kind of come off kind of dumb to me, just like a Sakura, that's the main girl, and she's like, following him around. Like this guy like tried to kill her twice, and she's still like trying to talk him out of like killing people and stuff, and it's obvious he's not gonna do that. And it's just like, and there's just like this one really like funny part at the end of the third episode where she.
This is a really stupid thing. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
And then she suffers the consequences for it.
Yeah.
I agree. The main character, the girl, is naive. That's a better word that Ricky explained. It's a better word. I would go so far and say she is stupid. And then plus, another thing that kind of gets me is that she's in these situations where she could be killed, and the guy kind of like, rescues her in a way. I mean, it's an evil situation, but I mean, you would have been dead. And then she's all saying, like, you're an evil person, you need to turn yourself in, you need to do, that's just stupid. But here's the thing, though. I don't like characters, when characters suffer for me when they're just not realistic, or they're not relatable, I guess, or believable is more of a word. They can be stupid and naive as long as they're believable. I know people in real life, or I met people in real life that would act just like her. You could say that's not even stupid. But there are people that, I mean, I do know people who would just be like, yeah, you should turn yourself in. And like, obviously this guy's a psycho. I mean, he's not going to do that. But, you know, they just don't get it. There are people in this world who just don't get it like her. Because of that, because she's relatable in that way, I don't really have too much of a problem with her. But she is kind of dumb. And it's not just her, it's other characters too. They're just kind of, you know, kind of just not that smart, honestly.
Well, they're just like one-dimensional. Just like, well, all the characters they display in the high school segments, they're just one-dimensional. But like in the serious parts, there's like other code breakers, but they don't really get into them like too much. But it's probably just because it's only the first 3 episodes, though.
Yeah, I'll probably get into them later.
Yeah, but still, though, it's just, I don't know. I just don't want to continue watching this.
That's very interesting. Yeah, so that's okay. You said your thing. I would continue watching this show. Another reason why, this is one of the big things. So I'm really big on like themes and concepts, more so than characters. Characters are really tight, and you know, I think story is basically, it is pretty much all about the characters when it comes down to it. If you got really cool characters, whatever the show's about, if you got really cool characters, it's gonna be a good show. With that said, for me, if it's got some really good themes, poor characters can kind of be okay with me. I really like a show that has like really good, deep concepts, and that's really what this show really. I mean, you know, and then I was talking to Ricky about the vigilantism. It's been beaten like a dead horse. I mean, anime fans, you know, Death Note came out, and that's kind of what made it popular in the anime world, I guess. But I mean, I'm just thinking about in 1980s Death Wish with Charles Bronson. You know, I mean, that guy blew that up, and you know, that whole Dirty Harry thing. So I mean, we've been through this ballpark before. But really, what gets me is that these discussions they have with each other, this guy and this girl, those are the parts that really make me like this show a lot. Where they talk about, they really get down deep to it. They're like, she believes that he's doing wrong. I mean, you can't just go around killing people, no matter how bad they are, how evil they are. You know, the law is the law. And he's like, well, you know, he's like, it's not that he doesn't understand. I think he just doesn't care.
Well, it's like, you know, his deal is like, well, these people, they circumvent the law. Like even like in one episode, like the police was in on it. Like even the police chief. You know, he's like, the only way to deal with this is just to kill them. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there it is. I mean, so now you, the viewer, are like, he has a point. You know? But I mean, can you honestly say, like, truthfully, can you just stand there and be, you know, the viewer, you say like, yeah, he did the right thing. He, you know, should have burned all those people alive. That was the right thing. But then, I mean, these people are scumbags. You know, so you don't feel that bad. But is he really doing the right thing, or is he not? Or does that matter? Like, you know, I mean, you really got.
Is there a better solution?
Is there a better solution? I mean, really, is there? And then that could be the easy answer, like, oh, there's a better solution. But okay, smarty pants, what is the better solution? You know, I'm pretty sure you're gonna struggle with that question. Well, let's see here. You can get the mayor involved. Maybe, you know, maybe the mayor's in on it. You know, so.
I know even like even then, it seems like some high up official guy is like in on it or something, or is somehow involved with something. I don't know.
The fundamental question for this anime poses is, you know, and the guy keeps saying it. You know, that kind of gets annoying too. His catchphrase, like an eye for an eye.
Yeah, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, evil for evil.
That's annoying, but that's basically they trying to hammer that into you. Like, is that right? I mean, you know, you know, you have to really think about it. And then you can, I mean, you know, and then there's all types of real world examples where that doesn't work. You know, the whole non-violence movement and all that. But you got, you know, you really. That's why I like this anime, because you kind of get you in that mode of thinking, like.
Well, it's just like. It's just like I think some other animes kind of tackled that concept a little bit better. Like when I finished oh god.
Well, I've never seen to make a point. I've never actually watched Death Note before.
Yeah.
So I mean that's one. Maybe I should watch that and see what they say.
Oh yeah, Fate Zero. That's what I was talking about.
Oh yeah, we reviewed that one.
Yeah, but like at one point it was like I'm not gonna try and get too much into it, but like one point the main guys the main guy and his servant are like arguing like how they should do things, and like he's like he's like doing like all this kind of dirty stuff, and he had this one guy sign this magical contract that's saying that he won't kill him if he just gives up, but then he just has like his assistant kill the dude and his wife and whatever, and he does all this this really evil stuff, and she's like why are you doing that and everything, and it's like and like he's like I have to do it this way, and she's like, well, if you do it if you like just doing evil just brings forth more evil, and at the end of the anime like things just sort of backfire on him too because of his ideals and how he handles things. So it's like, but yeah, I'm going off tangent here now.
You digress, but yeah, that's the point. Is that other anime may deal with this concept better.
Yeah. It's just like evil, like evil for evil just brings forth more evil.
Yeah, and that's pretty much true.
An eye for an eye just leaves everyone blind.
Yeah, Gandhi said that. So I mean, this is true. But then another person could counter that, like, oh well, you say all that, but corruption is all around. It's happening right now. So I mean, some people would argue like these are easy things to say, but when when it gets down to the reality of the situation.
Yeah, but it's like what you're doing actually fixing things. Like sure, it's like sure you're killing them, but it's like that's like
temporary fix.
Yeah, it's like a Band-Aid solution, sort of. Like you're stopping that crime, but you're not doing anything to stop future crimes.
Yeah,
like even like with like the Punisher, like there were times like because he was killing so many guys, like they started mobilizing and like doing and getting even worse.
There you go. That's the point. And then if you look at some real world examples, you got people who use nonviolence and they ended it. Of course now, these people gave up their lives. I mean, that's not funny. They gave up their lives as things, but they ended it. It's done. So you gotta look at things like that. They should have a better main girl character, Sakura. She should be if she was a little more less naive, she could kind of push that concept what Ricky's saying, like, yeah, evil just makes evil, using evil to battle evil just makes more evil. She could push that concept a little further and raise more of a point in defense on her side.
Yeah, because like the way she does this, like it seems really weak. Yeah.
Yeah, like her side is, you need somebody a little stronger. But the fact that we're even talking about this, fact that the concept is being raised, makes me like this show. Yeah. Now it has also on top of that, it has a lot of action and a lot of combat. The typical anime guy can summon fire. These other dude can summon all these other elements because there's all these other code breakers. So it's got a lot of combat. The only problem I have is just the comic relief, which can be a plus if you consider the fact that if they didn't have that, it would just be way too serious. But I would actually enjoy that personally. I would love for it to be really serious. But I know most people would be like, I just can't handle this. It's just too much. I need to laugh.
I think they just could have balanced it. Like they don't have to get rid of it, but they can just do it better. Just sort of not so goofy with it. Like just like try to make it fit in. Like better with the whole aspect of the anime, what it's trying to do.
Yeah,
it just comes off like way too goofy for me.
It does. It definitely does. Maybe if they did balance it a little bit more, and tried a little harder with the writing department. Said, all right, let's make this transition move a little bit more smoothly. Yeah, that could have worked. Although I think you would have had to really be intelligent with the writing to have that happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could be. I mean, there's talented writers out there that could do that. I don't think I'd be able to do that. But the only way you would pull that off is if you had extremely good writing. Then you can start throwing in comedy, and it'll be like, whoa, this is a perfect balance here. But I like the show. Ricky didn't. It's all, so I would watch it. Ricky would not. And let us know what you think. You can comment on our YouTube on the the little comment section. Did you like Codebreaker? Did you not? Do you agree with us? Maybe you disagree with me strongly. Like, what are you talking about, man? This vigilantism is not about that at all. What it's about is about the fire that's coming out of his hand, and that's, I don't know. It's amazing what people talk about on the internet now. Tangents go every which way but loose. But there it is. Codebreaker. Yeah, don't forget to, you can subscribe to our channel, and you can hit us up on Facebook, or you can hit us up on YouTube. It's all good. But until next time, check us out. This is Anime Splash.